So, yeah, you were busy camping last weekend, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Still have my camping attire
Yeah,
on.
oh, nice. It went well. And I was testing the new Tesla full self-driving 12 finally. I finally got it. I was like the last
You
person
finally got it.
to ever
You
get it,
got
right?
it like a month after we got it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, my car
Maybe a little more than a month.
was like on a different software build, so it took like a month for me to get it. Like so I'm like a month off everyone else, but pretty impressive. Like what it does. Like I've noticed some things that like you were talking about, and then some more things like it will if there's a puddle in the road, it'll move over. You know, like it won't go through a big puddle. If there's potholes, mine will slow down. Um,
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but
and
that's
it
cool.
almost seemed like it with the potholes that it did it the first time it went through at regular speed, and the next time it slowed down. Um,
Oh, that's
maybe you
smart.
could see them more. There's a ton of potholes around here lately. It'll move over if there's a pedestrian on the side of the road and there's no oncoming car. It'll move over, give them like
Yep,
plenty of space.
I did
Um,
notice that for sure.
yeah, so I mean, I was wondering about that, and it even moves over now for like trucks or large vehicles that are in next to you in a lane. Right, it doesn't stay right in the center. Moves over for
I did
large
not. I
vehicles.
didn't know that. That is something that they definitely needed to do because that always makes you feel kind of nervous.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got a big semi next to you. You don't want to be in the center of the lane. You want to move over as much as you can. Give it as
Yeah.
much space, right?
Yep.
So it did that kind of stuff, and really cool the way it comes to a complete stop, and then it like creeps out and like looks to see if anything's coming, and then goes right.
Yeah, that is cool. I do like that.
And I had mine set to like the assertive or so there's like you can set it to three different modes, like basically slow, medium, and fast as far as how far it's gonna how fast it's gonna pull out, and how aggressive it's going to be when it's driving. And I put mine in the assertive, and it seems to react pretty fast. It's not like sitting around waiting.
Now, do you remember where did you have that setting? I don't recall that
It's under
setting.
autopilot. It's under the
Oh,
autopilot settings. Yeah.
yeah, but I didn't know where under there.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that's
I
okay.
don't even know if I changed it. That may have been the default, and then they want you to back it off if you're scared of what it's doing. But
Uh,
it seemed really natural though. I mean, I don't really see for me like when I'd use a lot of this stuff, but it's definitely cool technology, and it
yeah,
will
that's
get
the
you
thing.
there if you put it in. If you put an address in, it'll get you there. It may act a little bit strange. It's not going to hit anything as long as you're watching what's going on. It's going to get you there pretty much.
Yeah, I did that a couple. I did that several times, and I was definitely impressed with. It just drive. It will drive you there, but it won't like when the destination. Like I was going to a residential
Mm-hmm.
home. It's not going to pull up into the driveway or anything like that. It just stops kind of close to the house.
Yeah, that was kind of weird because like when it comes home back to my house, it like comes to the driveway and then it keeps going like it's looking for a place to go, right?
Yeah, it's kind
It's
of
like
weird
heading
feeling.
over to my neighbor's house, so you definitely got to disengage when
I,
it gets to its destination
yeah,
because
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
waiting for
looking.
you to
Yeah,
take over, right?
yeah. I don't know whether it would just like pull over or it's just gonna circle around until you take over, but when it gets there, it acts kind of weird. It's because
Yeah,
then there might be cars pulling out and stuff, so you want to disengage it
yeah,
right away, right?
yeah. I
Um,
noticed that. Yeah.
all right, so we're going to talk about Wi-Fi 7 today. Now, first, I wanted to mention something that one of my customers told me this week that he's like he got the ECW526 access points, but he's like, where's the Wi-Fi 7? Um, he's like, I don't see Wi-Fi 7 in the interface. Like, I'm like, well, it's not in there. So he thought that Wi-Fi 7 would be an additional like radio band, right? We have 2.5, 5, and
Two point
6.
four, buddy.
2.4, sorry, I'm 2.4, 5, and 6. And now is there a set? There's no 7 band too? No 7 gigahertz? No, right? Like Wi-Fi 7 is a
No,
protocol that runs over the existing 3 bands.
that's right. Yep. Yeah. So that's the nice thing about Wi-Fi 7 is it will, just like Wi-Fi 6, right?
Yeah.
Will operate across all three bands, 2.4, 5, and 6 gigahertz. Now, like if you think back to 11AC, that was only 5 gigahertz,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right. It
So
didn't
now the
operate
newer
on
protocols
2.4.
are
Yeah.
operating across all three bands.
Right, and that's kind of the secret sauce of Wi-Fi 7, that it's going to use all three of those bands eventually, right? When the clients catch up, for the multi-link operation, it's gonna increase speeds and reliability by using all three of those bands the best that it can, right?
Right. And then, did you ever figure? Did you get the Samsung 23?
I did not, because I heard that it's not fully implemented on any of the Samsung phones yet. So
Yeah, I was going to share some data with you, but I don't know if I have time to bring that up.
okay. Well,
Think
did
about
they
that.
did they get multi-link working?
Um, yeah, it looks like it. I don't know if it's fully supported,
Mm-hmm.
but it will operate on 2.4 and 5, 2.4 and 6. It will not operate on 5 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, there's a lot of data to look at, so I don't think I could probably talk to it
Yeah.
in great depth.
I mean, but we can see, like, if you do have a Intel B200 adapter in your laptop, that's full Wi-Fi 7 compatible, but Windows doesn't fully support all the features yet. So with just the 6 gigahertz band on Wi-Fi 7, you're looking at around 2.5 gig, actual throughput, something like that. And on an iPhone 15 that has 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi 6E, you're looking at like 1.4, 1.5 gig probably, actual raw throughput on these things, right?
Yeah, so like on the Samsung, the S24, right?
Yeah.
On 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, they saw transmit on 2 gigabit, or transmit was 2 gigabit, receive was 2 gigabit.
Okay.
And that was on 2.4 and 5. But what my engineering was reporting is that there aren't really any clients on the market. They only support MLSR, but I can't speak to it
Multi-link
into
send
great depth.
receive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Windows will support that soon, but right now it does support Wi-Fi 7 with that BE200 adapter, on 6 gigahertz or 5 or 2.4. But it's just not combining all three bands yet.
That's right. Yep.
So as far as Wi-Fi 7 access points go, you want to talk about the new ECW526. That thing's
Yeah,
just been released.
just did a webinar
Yeah.
on Wednesday
Okay.
on the 526. I have it here.
Okay.
Just to give you a point of reference, so we do sell a lot of the 220. This is the 220. This is a Wi-Fi 6 2x2 dual band, right?
Right.
And this is the Wi-Fi 7 526. So can you see how the size difference?
It's a little bigger. Now turn them sideways and show how the thickness.
Yeah, the thickness. There's a little bit.
Okay, so yeah, it's a little, but that doesn't really matter that much. You're gonna ceiling mount it. It may stick out a little bit, but
No. Yeah, this thing's so this is a 2x2 Wi-Fi 7, so it's tri-band. It's operating on 2.4, 5, and 6. It has a single port on it. It's PoE plus. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
It's 10 gigabit though.
10 gigabit up to 10 gigabit. You don't need to use 10 gigabit.
Exactly. Yeah. So we didn't cheap out on the hardware. It's Qualcomm radio. So it's a really good access point. And combination of this is the 536. This is a 4x4 tri-band solution. It has two
That's the big boy that we're using.
10 gigabit.
And show the mounting package. I don't know if you have it, but just
I don't have it.
on
I
the
was
rear
gonna
of the
bring it. I
unit,
don't
show
have it.
how it interfaces though.
Just like to give you an idea,
Yeah.
this has no mount on it. This has the mount on it, but it
There you
comes
go.
with this will pop off if I can get it to pop off.
Well, you don't want it
This
to
is
pop off too easy. But yeah, so it's got that nice ring,
Yeah.
and I've heard from my installers that fits perfectly in a standard junction box.
That's great because we kept running into that a little bit with the earlier mounting kits, so we did improve the mounting kit. So it's a totally brand new mounting kit. The packaging of the mounting kit's like really nice too. So.
It is. It looks like an Apple product when it comes out of the box. It's really nice.
Yeah, so it's super nice. You mentioned this before. It's got a single LED.
Yeah.
256 different colors. You know, so we will use the LEDs for like troubleshooting.
Yeah, and if you look
We'll
in
add more and more features
app,
to that.
if you look in the Cloud to Go app, it'll show the LED behavior.
Yep.
As far as like what it's doing.
Yep. And so just to talk about this, right, a little bit, this AP. So power consumption, I think, is around 21 watt.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. So it's PoE plus.
Which is up to 32.
Pardon?
PoE plus is up to 32 watts. Yeah.
Yeah, over 30 watts.
Yeah.
It's 30 watts.
Yeah, okay. 30.
Right. But yeah, so you can power this device with pretty much any of our gigabit switches. There's only one switch that you couldn't use. That's an AF switch. It's PoE.
Right.
But it can be powered on our 10 gigabit, which is becoming more and more popular. Right.
Yes.
You're selling those very well. We're out of stock of those right now, but we will have more stock here shortly. It will work on our multi-gig, our 24-port and 48-port multi-gig, and our gigabit. So I would say all but one switch is 802.3 AT or PoE plus, so you could use it on any of those switches.
Right, except for the 1008P, right?
That's right. That's AF.
That's just AF, so that's half power. So you got that switch. Plus, it's not fan cooled. I mean, it's good for the smaller APs, but not any of these bigger ones.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, if you like, we were talking, if you have like a 1 gigabit connection, then you could use the 1 gigabit switches, like the 8-port ECS1112FP. But there's no need for multi-gig if you only have a 1 gig connection, really, right?
That's right.
So, but if your connection is over 1 gig, like say you have a 2.5 gig connection, then you could use a multi-gig switch like the ECS2510FP, which is PoE plus switch that has 2.5 gig interfaces. So there's just two options, and then any of the other switches you can pretty much use too.
So we were talking about this before. So why would you use like a Wi-Fi 7 access point on a gigabit switch?
Right. Because there's a lot of reasons. Because I mean, you're going to get more throughput at further distance, using Wi-Fi 7 than you would Wi-Fi 6. Depending on, if once your devices start to support it and multi-link comes into play, it's going to be able to use all three of those bands at wherever your location is to increase your throughput and reliability.
Right, exactly.
And as always, it's the latest chipset. It's always faster. Like it's just running on, better silicone, right? Like that.
Yep.
Everything's gonna work faster. Everything's gonna be updated. For the latest iPhones, the latest laptops you're getting, you're gonna have the best compatibility.
Exactly. So yeah, more memory, better CPU. Obviously, we continuously put out new features. It'll be able to support all the features. I would say like some of our Wi-Fi 5 devices, right, the older devices, they can't support like every one of the features that we put out. Whereas this one and the Wi-Fi 6 APs, they support all the features that we develop and put out. And there is a new feature coming out, which we talked about before, which is AV Express. That's going to be pretty cool. It's already activated on FIT. It will be activated on this access point and within Cloud the beginning of June. So that's coming out.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of people ask about that. And the price point on the ECW526 is like great, right? Like it's like industry best price point.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Then we're running. So whenever you buy two of these the ECW526 or the ECW536, so let me just. This is $299. That's MSRP price, $299. The 536 is $499. Right? When you buy two from Jeff, we will send you a free one. You just send us your invoice to partners@ingenious.tech.com. You send us that invoice, Jeff's invoice, and we'll send you a free one. So you buy two and you get one free from us.
So yeah, that brings the price point down even more. How long is that
Yeah,
running for?
for this one, it takes it down. MSRP price. I'm saying
Yeah,
199.
right.
So that's pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, industry leading price point, and I have them up for pre-order right now on my website, keyinsystems.com. I'll put a link to that, and I should be able to ship those by next week.
You're gonna sell out.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell out. I mean, I can if anyone orders them, I'll figure out how to ship them. I'll drop ship some from Ingenious if I need to.
Yeah, for sure.
So sounds good. All right, Brian. Anything else you want to talk about?
I think that's
I
it.
think that's it. All right, everyone have a great weekend and take a look at the ECW526. I'm gonna put a link in the description. I think it's pretty interesting access